information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
That's right. This is the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, brought to you by California Music Studios, where they are teaching kids. We're all about teaching the youth here. We also have Stars Line Now. They are an incredible organization that is going into underserved neighborhoods and helping kids to learn about music and the passion for music. And of course, when those kids start to move forward and need gear, they go to Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com. And then when you start to be like the two gentlemen here in my studio and you need gear on the road, you go to SIR. So that's kind of how we do it. We start from the beginning and we go to the end. And it's an amazing day. We're going to have some great guests here. In fact, we have one of San Diego's most, accomplished and great guests. And we also have a great co-host. So our guest here is Larry White, a man who's been in the business, phenomenal talent, and we're going to talk to him about how he got to start. And I have one of our previous guests who's now coming on as co-host today, Mr. Kevin Flournoy, who is one of the preeminent producers here in town. So we've got some really amazing players here, and we are going to talk today with these gentlemen about what they've done and where they're going. So, Larry, say hello to the audience here.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, and thank you for the coffee.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry, man, we ran out of filters today. Sometimes that happens. You get up, you come to the studio, and it's like, hey, wait a second. Yeah, we're you open the box, it's not there. So, yeah, I'm drinking Coke today. I'm not the biggest instant fan. That's why I didn't offer it. But we're all waking up, and it's a good day here. And, and say hello, Kevin.
Yeah, hello. It's good to be back again.
Mr. K Flow in the house.
Sir, yes, sir.
So I feel like I'm surrounded by just incredible talent here. And you all have had such an amazing start. So, Larry, I want to start with just to be right there from the beginning. Where did that spark of passion for music come from? Was it a family thing? Was it something that you, like for me, it was Elvis. I seen Elvis, and then I was like a little 4-year-old Filipino Elvis going, shake, rattle, and roll, whatever.
Well, I was very lucky. My parents were in the business. My mom was a singer with her own radio show. In the days of radio, if we can imagine that, and radio, in the days of radio when 15-minute shows were the rage. Time it was before TV, so every moment counted. People can't even imagine a 15-minute radio show. But she was WCBS in New York. Little Beverly Page sings with an announcer, and I came across the scripts one day. And what are we going to sing today, Beverly? Well, today from my fans, it was all scripted, and she'd sing 3 songs. So my dad was in show business as a singer-dancer as well. And they started me on my 4th birthday, tap dancing and singing. And so I was performing when I was 5 already, before I even knew any better, and doing movies and television and all. And I had a wonderful career. It was about 12 when I started getting interested in music.
Wow. So I always like to ask this question here. What was that moment, that spark where you go, okay, this is it, I'm doing this? Because I think everyone has that epiphany where this is what I'm meant to do.
I started buying records like everybody else, listening to Dusty Springfield, Dionne Warwick. I just started getting more into pop R&B, even at that age. And I was very fortunate. My sister was a singer who sang for a while, and was an amazing talent, but decided to have a family and get married and never pursued it like she could have. But because of her, I started playing the piano to accompany her. And then I just took it to the next level, got lessons, went to school, and it just became everything to me. And I was very fortunate because later in life I got to work with my hero, which was Dusty Springfield, Up until her death, I did all of her music, which was just a great honor.
Isn't that awesome? It just when you get a chance
it was
to
to have a hero like that from childhood and then in adulthood work with her. It was wonderful.
We've been blessed to have a number of players that have had that experience, and it's almost like it's these artists are kind of passing the baton on to the next generation, and you guys, and that's one of the things that you guys do, because you are the president of Stars Align now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the organization, what you guys are doing, but you guys really are doing an awesome job in helping to educate the kids about music today, because we don't see that quite often in schools anymore.
It's a wonderful thing. I'm at a point in my life, and Margaret also, Margaret White, who was the really the founder of this, along with me, but it was her
and
spark.
Also your wife.
And also my wife, I have to mention that, yeah. I've had such a great career and been so lucky to have worked with all these wonderful people in L.A. that I thought this was a good time in my life to pass some of this on to the next generation. And with our teaching and in association with California Music Studios.
Yeah. Jennifer and those folks over there are amazing.
They're the best.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And then with this organization, with Arts, which we'll talk about, we have a chance to show our proteges at this event coming up.
Yeah.
And also give back to Arts.
Which
is a reason to survive.
Yeah, and we're going to delve into that in this next coming segment. I kind of want to return back to, the days when you're kind of coming up. So you had, you realized that you were working with you working music with your sister. Who was the first, when you got a chance to be working with like a high-end, circumstance, who were you working with, and what was that experience like?
Well, actually, I started, I applied my music to arranging. I got with the boys who formed a group called the Sandpipers.
Yeah.
And it's a long time ago, so I don't expect a lot of our listeners to remember. But back in the late 60s, early 70s, we were fortunate to have a lot of hits. We were one of A&M Records' first artists.
Yeah.
It was Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah.
And, of course, he was the co-founder.
Yeah.
And Brazil 66, the Carpenters, and the Sandpipers.
Wow.
So we had a great start and a great organization behind us. But then we split up after a few years, and then I was looking around to see what I wanted to do at that point.
Yeah.
And I was in L.A., and I got a great break to do the choral music for a television show, because it was very hard to break into musical direction.
Yes.
Because they always said, "What have you done?" It's like, well, I haven't done anything. So they would say, well, we need credit. We need some credibility.
Yeah.
So I got in the show. It was with Engelbert and Tom Jones and those people.
Oh, awesome.
For ABC. And they just made me the choral director, and they had a problem with the musical director, the head honcho. Mm-hmm. And instead of just firing him and replacing him with another musical director, they moved me up. So I finally had a credit on a major show. And from there, I got a lot of shows and had a wonderful career doing music for TV.
Once you're a made man,
it's hard to get
funny
that
how
first
that works.
break.
Huh? Yeah, it's funny how that works. Huh?
You thought you made it out, but they brought you right back in.
I just happened to be at the right place when they looked around and said, "Oh, let's let him do it."
Yeah. Now you've actually, one of the cool things that you mentioned is you've been a songwriter for a pretty major record label. Can you tell us about that and tell us who that label is?
Well,
I know what it is. I just want you to say it.
Yes, it was Motown, and I was very lucky to be in L.A. when they moved to L.A.
Yeah.
Had their operation there on Sunset Boulevard, and my mentor was a man by the name of Leroy Lovett.
Okay.
And I was mentioning this story afterwards. We all come in with our compositions we thought were brilliant, and he would listen for 30 minutes. He would listen for a moment, and if I didn't get to the chorus in 30 seconds, he would say, "Go home and rewrite your masterpiece." And I'd leave dejected and come back the next day till I got it right. So I had great mentoring there for songwriting.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of interesting because you worked for two of the most incredible independent labels. You were signed to A&M, which was, even though it was pretty major, it was still considered independent because it was an artist developing artists. And then, of course, Motown, everyone knows that was, just pretty much the iconic label that kind of put independence really on the map, I think, at least, So what was that experience like, and how how did it cultivate you as our artist? You got about a minute and 30 seconds.
It just made me. It just made me want to be the best I could be. I think I've always done that. I've never been satisfied. Even when I hear one of my songs on the radio, I hear like a better chord change. I'm sure you can relate to
it's
that.
a never-ending process.
And I think that's that striving for perfection. Even though we know we're never going to quite get there, it's that pursuit of it. I think that makes us all better musicians.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I kind of like that you were cultivated. You had somebody that said, "Come back when you have that chorus getting into the 30-second range." Yeah. That's important. I don't think the artists are getting that today. I'm going to throw this out at Kevin. Kevin, how has your experience been with that?
Yeah, I've had the same experience where I came up under, I was telling him I went to UCSD under Professor Jimmy Cheatham and Cecil Lido was the piano player. Yeah. And it was the same thing. We laugh about it these days, but we was in the big band, and I was learning how to play jazz big band songs. Yeah. And there was more than one keyboard player, one piano player. Sure. So we did this song, Rain the Wind Machine. I know it, sure. And so we're playing as young, we're 18, 19. We're playing as fast as we can, everything that we can possibly. And he would stop the band and say, no, get up, let the other guy sit down. And you'd have to get up in front of the class and go and sit down and let somebody else play it the way it's supposed to be played. And he would ask questions like, well, who are you listening to at home? Because that's not it right there. So there's always that person that helped. And that helped me to get jobs later on.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
How I should be playing the piano.
Hey guys, that's a good kind of segue. I hear the music, so it's this has been the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio. My name's Florentino. I'm here with Larry White, Kevin Flournoy. Thanks Pitbull Audio, California Music Studios, and Stars Align.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goli, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on VinVillage Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to VinVillage Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Talk to information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Oh, yeah, this is the second segment of the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio, and, of course, brought to you by some incredible companies. First, I'd like to thank our folks over at Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com. It's an incredible company here based in San Diego. They're down in National City. They have a showroom, but predominantly they've been doing all their sales online, kind of like a lot of folks are doing. It's kind of where the businesses are going. And we also have SIR, who's been around since the late 60s, early 70s. And they've been powering all the artists that are going on tour. I know Kevin's used them many times, whether it be a studio in LA or whether it be just kind of getting out there and using the gear in the sessions as well as live, all the backline stuff. And then, of course, our friends over at California Music Studios, Jennifer and those folks, such a great group of people. I mean, I know you work with them, Larry, very intrinsically. They have studios here, but they are all over. They have what they do is they connect people who have a passion for music with the right kind of teachers, doing a really kind of a high character just instruction. So I think that's really powerful. And then, of course, if you happen to be in an area where they actually have a physical studio, like with Larry. Larry's a teacher. He's also an educator, and that's why he's passing it back. And that's with the organization Stars Align at starsalignnow.com. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, Larry, you know what? You've had this incredible career. You've played with some amazing people. You've been a songwriter in the early days of Motown, making incredible hits. And we talked a little bit about this in the first segment. You had the passion to kind of return that back, and you and your wife, Margaret, created this incredible organization called Stars Align at starsalignnow.com. Tell us about that. How did that all come about, and what are some of the things that people can expect from the organization?
I have to give Margaret credit because I'm a procrastinator. I've wanted to do this for a while.
A creative,
she
definitely.
is the force that actually created this and made it happen quickly. And our first event will be at the JCC in La Jolla on July 15th, and that's at the David and Dorothea Garfield Theater.
Which is a nice theater. If you're not here in San Diego, you know that is an amazing place. If you're not here, fly in because this is going to be a great event.
That's right. Can I tell you a little bit about it?
Yeah, please do.
I'll just give you an overview.
Yeah, tell us more about it.
We have, from 4 to 7, we have a showcase of the finest artists in the Southwest, which is independent of the show. It's before the show. And we have music provided by Peter Marin and his quartet, and some of our protégés who are coming to sing with the band.
Let's kind of explain what the protégés are so people can understand.
Protégés are the next generation of really talented kids who we want to give a voice and get them. Many of them, this is their first time performing in front of an audience.
Oh, wow.
And with the band.
With not just a band, but incredible players.
With a great band. Can I mention a couple of these? Because I'm so proud of all the people.
Let's go through all of them because we want people to know what's involved with your organization.
We've got Steph Johnson and Rob Thorson, two of San Diego's top artists. We'll be doing a short set in our first act. And we've got this guy, Larry White, band.
Who's that guy?
We like him.
What's he done?
Apart from him, we've got some wonderful all-stars in their own right. We've got Ronnie Stewart on drums.
Yeah.
And the great Cecil McBee Jr. on bass.
Yeah, he's taught a lot of the key bass players here in town, like Daryl and Daryl Williams.
Daryl Williams, yes. And Mark Chosak, who is not a name you might recognize. He's an L.A. studio guy who moved here. You know Mark? He's an amazing player.
Kevin knows everybody. He sees all, knows all.
Good charts, too.
Writes good charts, yes. And we've got Monette Marino on percussion, probably one of the best there is on percussion. And she's also a successful recording artist, and she has her own band.
Yeah.
And then we have on sax and flute Adrienne Nims.
Oh, wow.
Who is also a successful recording artist with her own band.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing band and protégés. And in addition to that, And I think we're going to hear her maybe in the next segment. We
Yeah.
have Rafia Ford,
Yes.
starring in the show, one of my favorite singers. And she's worked with everybody from Christina Aguilera to Anita Baker and
Wow.
Gloria Estefan. And we've got Miss California, Ariana Afsar, and Anna Danes in the
Yeah.
jazz field.
Yes, yeah.
who
She'll be
is
on later on
somebody
today.
that I've worked with and is wonderful. And one of my proteges, 12-year-old Sadie Duca, who was a huge hit on America's
Yeah.
Got Talent.
Yeah.
And she'll be performing.
So, you've got, it's like 50 performers that are.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
it's gonna
think
be-
it comes out to
It's
that.
going to be an incredible, event. Now, it takes a lot of work to kind of build up to this event, and it takes a lot of work with these prodigies. Tell us, when someone comes, well, usually, if I'm kind of tell me if I got this right, they go to California Music Studios. They're looking for someone of substance and of good character and high integrity to help their child discover that passion of music inside. Obviously,
Yes.
they bring them right to you, Larry, because you're the
Well,
first on board.
A certain one, yes, they have an amazing gift of being able to put the right teachers with the right students.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why they're the best at doing that. And the ones for me, actually, as far as the show, I recused myself from the auditions because I didn't want to pick favorites.
Yeah, you wanted
So Margaret and Jennifer auditioned.
Yeah.
The students.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of mine are in the made the cut.
That is awesome.
So we're really looking forward to this event.
How do you what's the process of getting a child from I want to do this music thing to okay, I'm now emerging to get out and perform and actually be an artist? What is that process like for you?
Well, the first thing is the drive.
Yes.
The kids that I've worked with, including little Sadie, who we'll hear that night, eats, sleeps, and breathes music. She started listening to Ella Fitzgerald when she was 4.
Wow.
And she was on America's Got Talent, I think, at 7. And she improvises, and she's a thinking musician already. So with her, that's a unique situation.
Yeah.
Some are not as gifted at that point. But what I look for, the first thing, of course, is pitch.
Yeah.
And I've had people come in who just can't find notes.
Can you
And
help
I have
someone
to tell them
to discover that?
Up to a point, but I think it's an inherent thing, don't you,
Yeah,
Kevin?
You either hear it,
You hear it
yeah,
or
you don't.
And there are some people who are just tone deaf, and
Now-
I've had to tell people,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Maybe try an instrument or
Yeah.
something.
Now, do you find that it's pitch versus being pitchy? You always heard, Randy Jackson on
Randy, yeah. Pitchy
You're
dog.
pitchy dog.
It's so important, and of course, it's neglected a lot now with all the things we use, like Melodyne, and
Oh, yeah.
everything can be fixed in the studio.
Yeah, yeah.
And unfortunately, that's led to a lot of
Laziness.
mediocrity.
Yeah, mediocrity. Yeah.
And I nip that. I try to make them perfect as students.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we really hone in on voice exercises and getting that pitch really accurate. But if it's not there at all, it's almost it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you can't. And I think timing is probably another big one too. That's I don't know. What do you guys feel about timing? Can that be adjusted? Can people learn?
I'm fine. I'm. What do you think?
That's a natural thing too that you will have. I was just having that discussion with a vocalist yesterday about timing and how people like Elton John and their timing is different. Billy Joel, different from in different genres of music too, R&B. And so when you cross over and you're singing different songs, your timing should change if you're trying to mimic that person. But you'll have your own style.
Absolutely.
But if you don't, I think you can study. You can listen to how, because I do. I listen to how vocalists time things.
Yeah.
And there's a certain style and the way they do it.
Yeah.
And when I'm writing a song and I want it to sound like that person wrote the song, then I'll mimic the line as if they were singing it. And
Sure.
so there's something
Sure.
there, but there's some natural ability you got to have.
Yes, and I think a lot of kids learn, and they learn by rote, and they just sing the music as is without making it conversational. And
Yeah. I think that's one of the things. Conversational is a big thing. I think that, like Nat King Cole is one of my favorite guys. His inflections and the way he, just the way he laid a line down. You knew and felt exactly what that meant. Even if it was simple lyrics, it was art with unforgettable. It's just really amazing. So,
Absolutely. And the other thing is a lot of the jazz singers who back phrase and do different things with timing, they still have to know where they are in the music so they can catch up.
Yeah,
And that's a problem I see with a lot.
That's an advanced thing. Actually, you might have that musical maturity to be able to do that.
To know when the chords are changing.
Not easy.
And to catch up, if you're going to lag behind, you have to pay for it
later on.
and catch up.
Yeah, like a Luther who used to do that all the time. That was that's a good question. You mentioned Dusty Springfield. Who are some of the other ones that kind of inspired you, Larry?
Well, I've worked with Celine Dion, who was wonderful. In fact, a quick story about pitch.
Okay. We got about 55 seconds.
I can get it in. We did a show and I wrote an arrangement of Summertime for her. But the big band didn't come in till once through. And she wanted to do the whole once through a cappella with no music. And I suggested she not do that because you can get a little bit off if you do a whole song like that with no music, just a fraction. And when the band came in, you'd notice that they were off. And yet she wanted to do it that way, and she did it with perfection.
Yeah, she's that. That's the kind of artist she is. So
absolutely,
that is an awesome story, and that's the kind of artist that you're grooming right now. You're mentoring and you're helping to mold these incredible prodigies as you put them, that people will be able to see at this event. Can we get the place, time, and how they can get tickets again?
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, it's July 15th. It's at the David and Dorothea Garfield Theater, and it's art from 4 to 7, and the show will be from 7 to 9.
Awesome. So this has been the Changing Stage radio show powered by the Mighty WS Radio Networks, brought to you by SIR, PitbullAudio.com, California Music Studios, and of course Stars Align at StarsAlignNow.com. Make sure you stay tuned. We got a few more segments to go.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit BizVidCommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID Communications.com.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
We are having the best time on the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet talk. And, of course, brought to you by some incredible sponsors that make this happen. We have SIR, where they do music equipment rental, whether you're in the studio, on road. And if you're in cities where they're located, like San Diego or Los Angeles, they got rehearsal studios to kind of help you hone to get ready for the big tours. And they also do corporate audio and video equipment as well. So they're like all over the map. They've been doing this since the 60s. Founded by musicians for musicians, so that's awesome. And, of course, if you want to just get that special piece of gear, Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, down in National City or online where they're making it happen. They just want you to play it loud. And there's going to be some loud playing over at the Stars Align at starsalignnow.com event that's happening that we've been talking about, and we'll give you some more information on that. And then, of course, in partnership with that is the California Music Studios. Jennifer and all her crew over there. If you are listening right now and you want to find a way to get the right teacher teaching you the right information, go to California Music Studios, because they really can make that happen for you. And speaking of that, the right music, we're going to play a couple of Larry's cuts so that you folks can get a chance to feel and experience where the initial passion came from when he was tap dancing at the age of 4 up to now. So that's kind of how it works. So we've got this first song that we're going to play here. Larry, tell us a little bit about that. And, of course, you're the artist on this one.
Okay. Oh, I also want to mention SIR. I've spent a lot of time there.
Oh, yeah.
I've made a lot of mistakes in those studios.
Same here.
Well, that's where you
the one
learn.
in L.A., yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this first cut is one of my favorites, and it's one of the hits off of my first vocal album.
Okay.
It's called Solid Ground, and here it is.
Sort of, here it is. Okay. Press play.
You treated me, I kept coming back for more, always at your door. I thought I needed you, but I was wrong. It's time we both let go and stop clinging to the past, but you just keep holding on when you know that love is gone. Well, you don't have to play that game with me. I won't hold you down. I'll set you free. I've learned how to stand on solid ground, so you time you look for me, I won't be around.
Wow. That's tasty.
Thank you.
Did you ever do any work with like Ambrosia or Gino Vanelli?
I wish I had. No, I love
The sound is reminiscent to me of that. That's why.
Oh,
it really kind of brought back some good memories. And that's man, your voice.
Nice I was surprised. I was like, "Where's all that soul coming from?" I heard a little People Bryson flavor in there. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what you got."
Those are all heroes. All heroes.
Great.
That was
Thank
amazing.
you.
That was good stuff. So we're going to play another of your tracks. It's number 3, right?
Number 3, yeah. This is a song, one of my favorite lyrics. Now, I have to mention Margaret writes all the lyrics for, I say my songs. There are songs because the lyrics come first, and then I write the music to them. This is Slow Dance.
Awesome. I'm queuing it up. Here we go.
Kevin will like the changes, I hope, on this one.
You've got to hold me now and never let me go. Dance a little closer, darling. The music's nice and slow. My heart's beating faster. Temperature starts to rise. I only wanna be with you. You don't need other guys. Don't hold back on me. Let your emotions run. Get the gatekeeper off your heart. I'll be good to you. Don't you know?
Yeah, I was trying to make Kevin smile.
Oh yeah, I heard all that. I heard some Boss Skaggs on that one.
Yeah, I did. Hey, I did too.
You did
a little bit of some Boss Skaggs.
In live performance, people tell
they
me
they
that.
tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they ask me if I know any songs, and I have to. I guess I should.
I just
learn a
recently learned about 3 or 4
Did
of them
you?
just for a gig.
Maybe you
I'm playing
can
with
help
Mark actually. Mark Kosak, yeah, and so yeah, and a couple of his songs. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So before we go to Rafaela's song, let's kind of talk a bit. What was the process to make these songs?
The way they start, Margaret writes these lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
and actually she's very prolific. So there are a lot of lyrics on my piano, and I sit down. I don't know how Kevin works, but I sit down, and if something comes to me.
Yeah.
If not, then I put that lyric, I shuffle the papers and find something else. When I get an idea, like for a chorus or whatever, and then I have something to work on. Then sometimes I'll get the chorus, and then I'll work backwards to try to find the verses. And sometimes I need another verse, because Margaret doesn't know how I'm going to work the song out. So then I'll come back to her and say, I need another A section like this.
Do you write chords down as you do it, or you?
I sort of remember it.
You remember? Okay.
I try to. Until I get to a point where, but I have my phone. Of course, now our phones are our computers.
Yeah.
I have my phone running.
Okay.
The recorder.
So
in
so you
case
don't
I do
forget.
something
Wonderful.
interesting, then I'll remember what it was.
Yeah, that is
Absolutely.
awesome. So, and then the recording process, when you move into that, I know Kevin's very familiar with the recording process. What is that like when you actually now have written the song, you take it to that next phase?
Well, I sequence a lot of my stuff. If I go into the studio, it's pretty easy. But if I sequence drum, I usually lay down a piano track, and then I sequence the drums, and then I put the bass on.
Okay, so you're doing all the tracks then on this?
Yeah, on these I did.
Yeah.
I do it in layers like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Kevin, I don't know about
do
you.
you take it? I start there too, but do you take it to sometimes take it to the studio and have live players?
Then I
replace
them.
Replace
Yes,
them. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. That gives you another element.
Now, for both of you guys, are you very specific about this is how I want like a bass line to go, or this is exactly where I want the guitar player part to go, or do you just pull in players and say, hey, I know you understand the music, give me what you think?
That's pretty much more what I do. Unless there's some specific chord change or accent, I let the guys do their thing.
A lot of times they hear what you did. They want to hear, and then they already, if they're professional, they can hear that and expand upon what's there. But there's a flavor already there.
I think the people that Kevin and I use,
they already know.
are already.
It's
like pre-digested protein.
That's why we call them.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, like I said, Cecil is.
That's a good name for a group.
Except for what genre would that one fit
alternative
in? Pre-digested protein.
Just straight alternative.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got about a minute and 40 seconds left. Let's go ahead and prep this next track from Rafaela.
Yes. I think it's. Is it number 4 you're playing or?
I think we going to 5.
Number 5. It's called "Please Me," and she's amazing.
Okay, here we go. Rafaela, Please Me, and you'll be able to see both you and Rafaela at the event.
Yes, and that's Rafia.
Rafia, I'm sorry.
Who's probably known as Rafaela in some places.
I feel it because my name Fiorentino, Martino. I've heard them all. So
it's an expression of love.
Here we go. We're gonna have her play it out into the commercial break.
Can't wait for you to come home. I'm cooking your dinner, getting things right, but it's something special on. Turning down the lights, playing those love-making songs. Can't wait to be with you, up under you, to smell the scent of your clothes. I'm in a daze, it's like I'm in a fantasy. The day you came into my world was the end of worries. I knew since then you were the one for me. A beautiful man you are. I just can't believe.
Alrighty. This has been the Changing Stage radio show, and it's been some amazing music in this segment. We'll be right back with Larry and with Kevin, and we're going to be talking more about the business. My name is Florentino, and we are powered by the Mighty WS Radio Networks. Thank you, California Music Studios, Stars Online, at Stars Online Now, pitbullaudio.com, and of course SIR. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay understand the pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at whichwich.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, whichwich.com.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Yeah, it's the fourth segment of the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet talk radio. And of course, this all is due to our sponsors who make this all possibility. Stars Align at starsalign.now.com, where we have Larry White in studio with us, and he's. Yeah, definitely. We would, we appreciate you being here, and of course, California Music Studios, who were all kind of tied together, doing all these amazing things, really kind of trying to do some things in the community as well, down in some of the areas that don't have music programs, and of course, Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com at SIR. And, kind of speaking of that, you got the event that's going on. You know what, I didn't think about this. Touch a little bit on what you guys are doing with the program down in National City.
The organization is called Arts, A Reason to Survive, and these are kids who wouldn't normally have a chance to get the benefit of mentors and artists. And we've been there. Margaret has, of course, been there a lot, but this is a place where kids come, at-risk kids too.
Yeah.
And they provide so many wonderful services, including sculpting, teaching instruments, teaching piano, teaching voice.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful outlet for the community, for kids who don't normally get a chance to experience these things. And with a lot of them, it gives them a path to greater things that they wouldn't have normally had.
Not only that, it keeps them focused. When I hear there's a school down in Bonita that I've been talking to, it's the Performing Arts School down there. And just in that area where they're at, crime levels in Bonita are not necessarily, the best ones you would want to hear, but in that where they have the circle of influence, crime levels are one of the lowest here in California. So it's pretty amazing.
It's a wonderful organization, and yes, we're happy to be giving to that organization with this event.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then as these kids grow up and they can become artists like Rafaela, and we had one more song we wanted to play.
Yeah, because we've been playing I didn't realize it, but kind of like the down easy stuff, and I wanted to play a little something of hers up tempo. And let's see, it's called Maybe It's Not.
All right, here we go.
So much time and patience.
right. That is
nice groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And the maestro here played, which I didn't know. The maestro here played on that.
Did you?
Actually, with her, I've played live with her.
Okay.
Several concerts, and these songs are familiar. I got them on my iPad, and I've played them. It's kind of an interesting, thing.
That's so funny. How small world.
The small world.
Speaking of
yes,
that, you know, the world is changing. I mean, you guys have been around for quite a bit, and you've seen this, and you're growing these artists. What are some of the things that are different now, and how can what kind of these artists that are coming up, these prodigies, expect now in this market?
Well, my biggest complaint, and it's the people in my generation came up wanting to be good at what they did. They wanted to excel and their craft was the main thing. Now it's all about stardom and YouTubes, and I find people are looking for shortcuts to get there.
Yeah.
And I have one girl who was disappointed she wasn't a star at 12, and I told her, just concentrate on being the best you can be at what you do, and the stardom will come.
Yeah,
I think it's the wrong goal.
Yeah.
Just for a shortcut.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What do you find that is missing? Like when they come to you, when they're young, we had a different experience. I remember playing every day in the garage. We was doing music all the time and studying it and knew how to read and write. What do you find that's missing, like when people come to you?
It's the excelling at what you, and not everybody, but I find a lot of performers who want to be stars instead of good at what they do. And I keep telling them the stardom will come, just work on your craft, be the best you can be a thinking singer, learn the runs, do all the things and that will come.
Yeah.
But that's not just being a star, putting up YouTubes when they're slightly out of tune or whatever. There are no real shortcuts to the real thing.
Do you have conversations like that with telling them what sacrifices? That word sacrifice.
I try to.
Yeah. That's something that doesn't work all the time. They're looking at you. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Sacrifice what?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the core essentials of being successful, passion, commitment, and focus are going to be, really, there's no way around it. Like you said, you have to have those, a drive, to make it happen. I've worked with a number of young singers, and sometimes you just see they got a lot of talent. The drive's not there. I think there's one other key component that's going to be needed here in this next millennia of music, and that is actually business acumen. You've both had that, but that wasn't necessarily needed if you're a musician back in the day. I was watching a little bit of the Ginger Baker story, and Ginger Baker was an incredible talent, played with Cream, drummer with Cream, but he wasn't necessarily the best business person and savvy business person. So those days of being crazy and all in the business.
And we all know about people like Tony Braxton and all the horror stories about having all those hits and then having to go into bankruptcy.
The financial part of it.
And with a lot of athletes too. There are a lot of people who need better schooling in that area. Sure.
And your Stars Align, you're providing, there's a vacuum there with that information, and you're providing that sort of information.
We're trying. And I also learned a lot from watching people. I was so lucky to, as I mentioned, working with all these stars. When I was with Kenny Rogers, we were doing 20,000 seat auditoriums. He had like the number 1, 2, and 3 songs on the charts. And he got a call to go to Vegas. And his people said, "We don't need Vegas now. We're huge." And he had the presence of mind to say, no, this is not going to last that long. I'm going to need Vegas. Let's go in not for 4 weeks. Let's go in and do 2 weeks. Because I want to keep that connection open. Some performers are really aware of the fact that kind of white-hot stardom is fleeting.
So it becomes a conversation about relationships that you need to foster for your whole career. So you can have longevity.
Relationships I think are a really big one. And being a jerk in the business is definitely not going to work anymore. Because people coming up, too many. I like it because we're starting to get this thing where we are having all these opportunities for people that wouldn't normally happen. But to get that recognition, it's not as easy.
And can I throw another complaint in?
Yes.
It's a good day for morning for complaints because I've only got one coffee.
We got about 30 seconds left.
Oh, musicians, learn your craft. That's
here.
The key. Learn more than 3 or 4 chord changes before you start writing songs.
And one genre.
Yes,
learn
absolutely.
multiple genres. So that has been a big one. Well, Larry, like I said, man, when we started, this is not going to be long enough. We have to have you back. You've got a wealth of knowledge and experience that's going to be powerful for our listening audience. And, I really appreciate you guys. This has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, brought to you by SIR, Pitbull Audio, pitbullaudio.com, and, of course, our good friends Jennifer at California Music Studios, and our friend here in studio, Stars Line at starslinenow.com. And Margaret, thank you very much. Kevin, thank you. You're going to stay on for the next couple of shows. This is a 3-show day today, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with the next show.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Progressive Medical.
Hey, this is Heidi Rue, and Progressive Medical Center has literally changed my life and my health, but I'm not the only one. Adele suffered from bone deterioration, bone overgrowth, profound muscle discomfort, physical exhaustion, and mental fog. In fact, the bone deterioration becomes so serious that she had to have back surgery. Well, after the surgery, she still didn't feel well, and so that's when she heard about Progressive Medical Center. Progressive Medical Center discovered that her adrenals weren't working properly, her hormones were out of whack, and the drugs she had been taking were doing more harm than good. Adele came into Progressive Medical Center in a walker, physically and mentally exhausted. But now she's a world traveler. She hikes and walks several miles a day, and it's all thanks to Progressive Medical Center. 770-676-6000. 770-676-6000.
Progressive Medical. This is your life. Live it well.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.